Listen to this. Lancet study on COVID vaccine autopsies finds 74% were caused by the vaccine. That got published at the Lancet, and they immediately removed it 24 hours later. Let me just break it down, and then we'll come to you for your comment. A Lancet review of 325 autopsies after COVID vaccination found that 74% of the deaths were caused by the vaccine, but the study was removed within 24 hours. The paper preprint was awaiting peer review. It was written by leading cardiologist, Dr. Peter McCullough, a Yale epidemiologist, Dr. Harvey Reisch, and their colleagues at the Wellness Company, and was published online on Wednesday on a preprint site on the prestigious medical journal. However, less than 24 hours later, the study was removed, and a note appeared stating that this preprint has been removed by preprints with the Lancet because the study's conclusions are not supported by the study methodology. While the study had not undergone any part of the peer review process, the note implies that it fell foul of the screening criteria. The original study abstract can be found at the Internet Archive, and it reads, "The rapid development and widespread deployment of COVID-19 vaccines, combined with a high number of adverse event reports, have led to concerns over possible mechanisms of injury, including systemic lipid nanoparticles, NLP, and mRNA distribution, spike protein-associated tissue damage, thrombogenicity, immune system dysfunction, and carcinogenicity." The aim of the systemic review is to investigate possible causal links between the COVID-19 vaccine administration and death using autopsies and post-mortem analysis. Here's the method that you used. We searched for all published autopsy and necropsy reports relating to COVID-19 vaccinations up until May 18th of 2023. We initially identified 678 studies, and after screening for our inclusion criteria, included 44 papers that contained 325 autopsy cases and 1 necropsy case. 3 physicians independently reviewed all the deaths and determined whether COVID-19 vaccination was a direct cause or contributed significantly to the death. Their findings, this is from the paper, their findings, the most implicated organ system in COVID-19 vaccine-associated death was the cardiovascular system, 53%, followed by the hematological system, 17%, the respiratory system, 8%, and multiple organ systems, 7%. 3 or more organ systems were affected in 21 cases. The mean time from vaccination to death was 14.3 days. Now, that's an interesting stat that we'll come to back in a second, but most deaths occurred within a week from the last vaccine administration. So they would consider those people, the CDC and the FDA and the government would consider those people not vaccinated.
What?
Because they don't consider you vaccinated until at least 2 weeks after you had your second shot. So when those people died, they were counting them as unvaccinated deaths from COVID.
Why?
A total of 240 deaths, 73.9%, were independently adjudicated as directly due to or significantly contributed to by the COVID-19 vaccination. And so the interpretation, the consistency seen among cases in this review with known COVID-19 vaccine adverse events, their mechanisms and related excess death, coupled with autopsy confirmation and physician-led death adjudication, suggests that there is a high likelihood of a causal link between COVID-19 vaccines and death of these people in most cases. Further urgent investigation is required for the purpose of clarifying our findings. Without further detail from the preprints with the Lancet staff who removed the paper, it is hard to know what substance the claim that the conclusions are not supported by the method. So again, they're not telling you why they took it down. And a number of the authors of the paper are at the top of their fields, so it is hard to imagine that the methodology of their review was really so poor that it warranted removal at initial screening rather than being subject to full critical appraisal. It smacks instead of raw censorship of a paper that failed to toe the official line. Keep in mind that the CDC has not yet acknowledged a single death being caused by COVID mRNA vaccines. Autopsy evidence demonstrating otherwise is clearly not what the United States public health establishment wants to hear.